a snowman. We're going to make a really cute snowman from some different size styrofoam balls. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So I have several different sizes of styrofoam balls here. This one, I believe this one is a 5.5 inch. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to stack them on top of each other. But what I want to do is take just a little bit off on these to make them a little bit flat so that they're going to sit together a little better. So the first thing I'll do is kind of push it down like this, just to kind of get an idea of where I want to kind of cut a little bit off. Okay, and then I'm just going to slice a little bit off of it, very little, just enough to give us kind of a flatter surface. It's going to make a mess, but that's not important because we can clean it up. Now when you sand it, you want to do this over a trash can. Very important. What I'm going to do is keep fitting them until I see that's going to look nice. Because I want it to look more like, I want it to look more like it's sitting together. Okay, so I'm going to flatten this a little. I don't want to take as much off of this one. I just want to take a little. So I find if I just want to take a little tiny bit using kind of a kitchen knife, this is a bread knife, works a little better. If I want to get some scoop out, I will use this plastic foam knife. Oh, see that? See how nicely that fits together? So now it doesn't look like it's odd where it's round to round. Okay, so I just took a little sliver and then a little bit more of a chunk here. And that's because I want it to kind of sit down in there like that. I like to do this part first before I paint or do anything else. Okay, so then I'm going to take one of my sanding blocks and I'm going to use the rougher side that has the lower, so with sandpaper. The higher the sandpaper, the lower the grit. So I want a little bit higher grit. So I can kind of smooth this out a little. Now I did take a little chunk out of the center because it'll make it easier for that one. Okay, and I'm just going to sand it smooth. All right, so I don't want to have, any pieces showing once I get them together. So I just do a little sanding just to make it smooth. Okay, so you can see how nicely those fit together. And I have it kind of rounded out like this. And that's going to help them look natural. So I have to do a lot less sanding with this because I only took a little. So mostly what I want to do is kind of round out that edge. So when you have a snowman, right, because of the weight, it's going to kind of compact together. So that's what we're simulating, is that little compact together, okay? All right, so we got that part. All right, now let's do the top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect them together with some of these, the little barbecue skewers. Love these things. I use these a lot. All right, so this is for the bottom. So this is going to be for the top. So again, I just want to take, I want to kind of mark where the top is. I just want to take a little sliver. Okay. And then my sandpaper. I don't need to be as big up here because the ball on the top is not as large. Okay. Just like that. Okay. And then this one, I've already kind of pressed it down and put a hole where I know that the bottom is. Okay. So we're not going to have to take very much of this off. Tiny little sliver. And mostly what we're doing is giving it a slight bit of a flat surface so it'll stay together better. Because if you're doing the rounded, then it's not going to sit on itself as well. There we go. All right. Perfect. Look at that. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to paint them and get them ready to assemble. We can do a lot of fun stuff after we get it assembled, after we get it painted and assembled. And I do want it to be white. So I'm going to use some Mod Podge with some white paint. Okay, so just a little bit of craft acrylic paint and some Mod Podge. Mix these together. So the Mod Podge, what this does is this allows it to really make a nice surface, and it allows it to put glitter on it. And you don't have to do a second step. So if you put the Mod Podge with your paint, it helps create that nice barrier. It also seals it. So it's going to seal it and paint it at the same time. So now I'm going to take my stick, put it back in. I'm going to put a stick in each one because the best way to do this is to put it on a stick so that it's very easy to get it to dry, because I can put it on another piece of styrofoam while it's drying. See, the Mod Podge with the paint is going to give it a really nice, smoother finish. Okay. Now we're going to be putting glitter on these, so I don't really have to worry about the surface too much because the glitter will cover a lot. But we want to at least get it started. Okay. I like to keep little styrofoam pieces whenever I get something in that has, you know, those very annoying styrofoam pieces, because I use them all the time. And the great thing is you can use them over and over and over again. Okay, so I'm going to take a paper plate, and I do mean paper. You want it to be the paper kind. And I'm going to take some of my white glitter. This is Snow White. Okay, and I will give you links in the description. And I'm going to glitter it, bottom and all. Now, the reason I like to use this plate is because it will catch my glitter, and it's super easy to just get back into the container. I know a lot of people use paper or other paper towels or whatever. I like the paper plates because my craft table tends to get dirt on it, and I find it just easier to have an additional thing. And I can use these plates over and over and over again. So, with the parchment paper or something like that, you pretty much just have to toss it. Okay, so there we go. We have our first one glittered. So I'm going to set it right there and let it start to dry. All right, and then we'll start on the second one here. Okay, so we have all three done, and so I'm going to let these dry, and then when I come back, we're going to seal it, and then we'll start putting it together. Okay, so these are dry, and we're going to need to seal them now. So my favorite way is to take Mod Podge and put it in a spray bottle. I like these little fingertip ones because they give kind of a nice spray, and then you just add enough water into it to get it to where it will spray out. I find this, you want to be far enough away that you're not going to get a lot of, like, you don't want to be too close or you're going to end up getting some of the stuff off. You want more of a mist kind of spray. It is Mod Podge, so you're going to have to shake it up a lot. because it's going to want to kind of glue together because it is glue. So when you see that it's coming out in a single string, just keep shaking it up. And then if it doesn't want to come out, then you can add a little bit more water. There we go. Okay, so you should be able to spray it very easily. If it's not spraying easily, then you probably have a clog and you just need to go rinse it out. So one thing you can do to make sure this works well is when you're done, go ahead and empty it out and just wash it out. And then when you get ready to start again, you can just refill it. So that works really well. You just put, you know, a little bit of Mod Podge in there and then some water. And it should spray out very nicely. And it dries beautifully. It doesn't take the shine away. It is a little messy. Can hurt your hands after a while. But it works great. Just make sure you have something down on your table. It's a little harder with the white to see if I'm getting it all, but okay. So generally what I do is I will spray and turn. That way I know I'm getting it all. And I can kind of see, you know, where it is and where it's not. There we go. Okay, so we're going to let those dry, and then when we come back, we're going to start doing things to put them together. So the snowman body has dried, so I'm going to seal it. You want to seal after each step so that you don't lose any of the pretty glitter. So I'm going to let these dry, and I'm going to come back and we're going to start doing some really cute little stuff and putting it together. Okay, so I want to start on the next portion of the snowman. And so I need to start with the bottom. So on the bottom, we're going to put a little bit of some cute little beads. So this is the kind of in between. One thing I'm going to do is kind of smash it down just a little, just to make sure I can sit it a little bit. Okay, now these are little foam beads. Love these, really love them. And we're going to use it with some Mod Podge to get some beads on the bottom. So these are small little foam beads, and I want them, so if I look here, I want them to start about right there. So I'll just kind of dent it with my thumb. Then I can kind of see, and I'll just kind of start going around. I want to put a decent amount of the Mod Podge on it. I just want it to go up a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to take it and I'm going to place it in here. Just like that. Okay, then we're going to keep going around doing the same thing. And for areas where it kind of falls off, you can just kind of sprinkle them over like that. There. There's always going to be some areas that don't kind of stick very well. And there'll be some that gets on your little sponge. I find it a lot easier if I put it in a little container like this. And then it's a little bit easier to get it onto the surface. So you see how cute that's going to be? Now I want more in the back than in the front, because on the front we're going to put all of his little buttons and that kind of stuff. Alright, so I'm going to put the stick on the top this time, and I'm going to let it dry like this. See how cute that is? So if I see little areas, I'll just put some on there. If I have too much, I'll just kind of brush it off. Sometimes it can be hard to tell when you're kind of working on it upside down. But look how cute that is. That's so cute. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to let this dry, and then what I'm going to do is just spray over it with some Mod Podge just to seal them on there. Okay, while that's drying, we're going to kind of work on these two sections a little bit. This is the middle. Okay. So I want to see, so this is the side that goes with the top here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take this stick and I'm going to cut it at angles, and I'm going to figure out where I want to put them, and I kind of want about 3, I think. Okay. So maybe 3 spots like this. Alright, see, and then we're going to place this on, and this is going to hold it together. Now, I want those to go down in much farther, but I want to start them on the top. Let's see. So I'm just going to kind of puncture it so I can see where I need to put it. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to glue them into the top first. Just going to put a little bit on each one of these. Okay. I want to get it down in there a good amount, but certainly not too far. There and there. Okay. Now I'm going to put some glue in those spots. Okay. This is going to secure it. There we go. Okay, so we've got it in there. Whoops. One went too far. Let's get that out. Okay, that's easy to fix. If something like that happens, it is easy to fix. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we've got those two places together. Okay. So we're going to work on his face and his little scarf and his little buttons. For his buttons, I had a couple options. You can get these little like peppermints. They're little like candied peppermints. And then I like this one as well. This is actually from Hobby Lobby, and it is a self-adhesive foam. And I think that's going to be super cute. So I'm thinking that's what we're going to go with. So there's so many options that you can do for the little scarf. You can do ribbon. So this is super cute. You just kind of fold it up. Like this. And then place it around. That is super cute. Okay, just like that. Okay. You can also use foam. I like glittered foam. Now this is the very thin foam, so this works really well because it's easy to fold it up and it's flexible. And then for the eyes, you have a lot of options. You also have other options for the little buttons down. You can use the glittered balls. For the eyes, you could use little wood beads. You could also use some of the tiny wood balls, the glitter ones, or you can use puffy paint, which I think we are going to use the puffy paint. You could also use take the glitter balls, the black ones, and just cut them in half. That works really well. You can also use fabric on here as the little scarf. There's really just so many options that you have. One easy way, of course, is just to use something like these glitter sheets. These come from Hobby Lobby. I like them because they're thin and they're flexible. So what I'll do is, these are giant paint sticks, but what I'll do is figure out about how big I want it to be. I think that's about a 1/2 inch, so I will cut it 1 inch. And also do it this way. Let's do it this way. It's a little easier to see. Okay. I like using my mat because it has the line on it. So I can use the line to make sure that I have my measuring stick straight. You can use your rotary cutter. You can use scissors. You can use an X-Acto knife. Any of those work fine. Okay. Now I'm going to fold this in half. Okay, and I'm just going to kind of glue it down. There we go. Okay. This is just like when you're making the little lollipops with your foam. Same exact thing. You're just going to fold it in half and glue it. Okay. That. Make sure you're using hot glue that is low temperature so you don't burn yourself, because it's easy to do. Okay. All right. Now, I like to come around like this. Okay, I want this piece. Okay, so this is going to be the piece that's going to go across. And I want it to spread out like that. So it looks like it has a little piece of it. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so let me get some glue on this piece here. It also helps cover that little gap there. It's so cute. Make sure you are pushing it in and getting it to glue to something, because you do want it to glue down. Okay. That's why I like the flexible kind. So the thinner kind. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. There. Okay. Alright, so this piece I want to just trim off. up there. Okay, and this piece I want to glue down. There. Like that. See how cute that is? Okay. So cute. I'll glue this little piece down. Okay. There we go. Stick a tiny little blue inside there. There we go. You can see it take very little. So we cut a 1-inch piece and we folded it in half except for this one little piece that I wanted to have coming out like that. Okay, so we're going to do the face, and then we're going to do the little buttons, or maybe we'll go ahead and do buttons. And I have a nose, so what I have is a cone. It is, I think they call them trees a lot of places. And I will cut off just the amount I need, and so I don't need a big one. Thinking about like this. Let's see. Yep, that's good. So we're going to paint that. Okay, I'm going to sand this off a little bit so I can make sure it's going to seal nicely. You can, of course, put some a stick inside there just like we did between the pieces. My orange. This is styrene. I love working with styrene because it's very smooth. So I'm going to paint it. And I'm going to add some glitter. This is pumpkin glitter. I'll just use one of my sponge brushes. And I do reuse these over and over and over. And I always put a little bit of Mod Podge with it if I'm going to be working on styrofoam. It's just going to go better. It's going to cover better. So put the stick in, so this way it makes it easier to dry. And it won't get damaged while it's drying. Okay. I'm going to paint everything. Now I'm not going to put glitter on the bottom, but I'm going to put glitter everywhere else. First, I want a good coat of the orange. Okay. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to glitter over this plate so that I can easily get the glitter back into the container. Oh, wait, I've got I still have the shipping seal on it. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to glitter it on. Oh, how cute is that? Okay, I want it to be sparkly. There. It doesn't matter how much I put on because I can easily get it back in my container by using this little plate. There. All right, how cute is that? All right, so we're going to let that dry. Okay, and I can take this, and I can get it back in my container. Now, the reason that I use the paper plates instead of the parchment paper is that I can just kind of brush this off and I can just keep reusing it over and over and over again. So I just keep using the same plate over and over again. It really saves. You can also wash these off if you want to. They're really easy to wipe off. These are the little styrofoam plates. Okay, so for the face. we're going to put the nose about right here. So what I'll do is take my paint pen and just put a little dot. That way I know exactly where the nose is going, and I can put the eyes around it and I don't have a problem. You can also use paint pens. But I wanted the puffy paint just because I wanted it to be like a little dot. Okay, so when you're working with the puffy paints, you want to make sure that you're shaking them down so they don't bubble out, and sometimes they will anyways. Okay, so let's just make 2 little eyes. Okay, and then little dots along here. And our nose is going to go right in the center. Try to get these to be even. There we go. All right, so we're going to let this dry. And to let this dry, when you're working with puffy paint, do not set it up like this because it's going to drip down. If you want it to stay like it is so it'll dry like it is, you need to lay it flat and let it dry that way. So I can actually use my little container here and lay it in there and let it dry. So I'm going to let it dry there. And then as soon as these things dry, I'll come back and we'll start putting it together. Okay, so our little nose has dried. So we're going to get ready to put this on our cute little guy here. What we can do is take a little piece of this here. Put a little bit of glue in there. Put my stick back in it. Okay, and then I'll take my awl, pop a little hole where I made that mark. Then I'm going to put a tiny little bit of glue in there and around the little nose, the little cone. Okay. This way I can make sure it's not going to come off. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Okay, there we go. He looks so cute. All right, so for the hat, I did buy this from Hobby Lobby because it's going to just make it a lot faster. You can actually buy a little snowman that's kind of mostly put together at Hobby Lobby if you would like to do that. Now this hat, of course, was flattened. I don't like the red ribbon, so we're going to change that out. And I want the hat to be a tiny bit stiffer, so we are going to fix that. Okay. So I'm going to pull this off because I want him to have pink on him and not the red. Okay. There we go. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little piece of poster board and kind of line the center of this with it. I'm going to cut a piece. Then we'll kind of figure out how much we need. This just will add a little stiffness to it. Let's see. Right. So we need, yep. Alrighty. So I'm going to trim it about right there. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Try this again and make sure it fits. It does. That's good. Okay, perfect. This is just going to help keep it, you know, nice and smoothed out so that it's not going to flop over. Okay, and I'm just marking it, and I'll just cut it. So you don't need a lot, just a little to keep in there, to keep it from falling in. There we go. See how easy that is? And now our hat will stand up. And so I'm just going to put a couple little bits of glue in here to glue in my little poster board. I think this little hat was like $2 and everything is half off. So honestly, it's probably less expensive just to buy it than it would be to make one. So, and certainly the time will be less. I have a ton of little velvet ribbon, and I want to find one that is pretty much the shade of this. I think that one is going to be our winner. Well, I think either one of these. Well, no, I think I kind of like the brighter one. Okay. Yeah, okay. So we're going to put this on the hat. Okay. So I'll just start it here and kind of go around. Well, we'll start it in the back where they had theirs. Just going to put a little glue here. Okay. Just press that down. All right. A little bit in the front here. Just like that. Okay, I want to put just a tiny bit here on the side, just so it won't move. There we go. All right, and then we'll meet it in the back. Okay. There we go. Okay. So then just right here in the back. There we go. Okay. If you have any little glue pieces, you can use a hair dryer on low just to kind of get that out. If I see any places that are kind of sticking up, I'll just drop a little bit of glue in there. There. Oh, how cute is that? Isn't that cute? All right, so his hat is going to go like this, his or her. So I'll need to put glue all around here. Okay. And then I'll place it down and glue it down. Oh, that is so cute. Okay. See how cute it looks with the little matching? All right. All right, for his arms, we have a lot of options. So this is just a little bit of just some stick, and it just has a little bit of white paint on it. I kind of like this because it feels to me like this is what it should look like. So see if we place that in there. That's so cute. All right, let's see. Maybe down here. Okay. Okay, so that's the first option, little sticks. Okay. Okay, so another option we have is little leaves. Okay, so these are pink ficus leaves. I think this would be super cute. Okay. Alright, so put one there. Kind of move it out. And one here. Move that out. That's cute. Now you could do larger, smaller. Okay, and then the last one I want to try is to make a little curly cue. Okay. So all you're going to need is some ribbon that you like. Okay, so I have, we could use some of the velvet like we did. We could use some little glitter ribbon. This is super cute. I like this too. And you're going to need some 18 gauge wire. Now these are 6-inch. They come 50 in a pack. We're going to need 2. Let's try this one. Okay. Now this one has some adhesive on it, but we're not really going to need the adhesive. I want to cut about, let's see, a 14, so 28-inch piece. Let me make sure there's enough for 2. I think there is. Woo, just barely. Okay, so let's do this. Let's just cut this in half. That'll make it a little bit easier. Oh. All right, there we go. So I'm going to cut that in half. Okay. I'm going to take this backing off. Okay, so the backing isn't necessary. It just so happens that this one has a backing. Okay. And you're going to put your, let me see, where's the halfway point? Right about here. Okay, so we're going to put our stick. All right, so where you start the stick, okay, you want to do a little twist with it, okay, like that, just to keep it in place. All right, let's see, how long is this? This is about 30.5 inches, so we're gonna need around 15. So about right here. So we're going to put it about right here. About right there. Okay. You want to try to get it in the middle. Okay. Alrighty. Take that back. I'm using more than one stick just because this is longer than my wire. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add glue because I want to make sure that it is going to stick. So even though it has adhesive, I just feel more comfortable if I have a little glue on it. All right, so then you're just going to, let's get the backing off this half. Okay. There we go. Okay. Okay, and you're just going to stick it down and press down nice and firmly. Okay. There we go. So that little 1/2 inch I don't need. I'm just going to trim that off. Okay. Okay. There we go. All right, now I'm going to take a dowel and I'm going to start at the top and I'm going to start wrapping this around. And I want to make it pretty tight so that it wraps nicely, just like this. Okay. There we go. Now we pull it out and we have a little curly cue. And what I can do is double this up here. Now I made this pretty long. You certainly don't have to make it this long, but this would be another option for the arms, just like this. Okay, so it will be down this far. I kind of like the ficus leaves, but I wanted to show you this because this is a great option. Make sure it sticks down there. Put a little glue in here. There we go. Okay, so let's make the other one. No, let's not. Okay, so you would just make 2 of these and then put it 1 in each arm. I think I'm going to stick with the ficus leaves because it's different and I think it's fun. Okay. There. So I want to put them in just like that. I think that's so cute. All right, now we're going to put his little buttons on. This is just a little package of stickers from Hobby Lobby. I thought they were adorable. I like the different colors. Okay, so I want 2 on the top. So 1 here, 1 here, and then 1 on the bottom. Okay, 1 there. Now these are self-adhesive. I will put glue if I need to. And then here's the bottom. Look how stinking cute that turned out. Okay, so I want to put a second stick in here. There we go. I don't need a whole bunch sticking up. I'm going to put a little bit of glue there, a little bit of glue here. Okay, then I'm going to trim this off a little. Okay, now I'm going to put glue on this part. Okay, right on his little second piece here. Okay, and then I'll get those sticks in, push it down, get that glue going. Let's make sure that's sitting on there. I'm just going to hold it for a minute while it's gluing. There. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Okay, he is so cute. Now, I'm putting this in a wreath, but if you wanted to put this sitting out, all you need to do is shave a little bit from the bottom to make it a little flatter, and then it will sit up nicely. Now, I'm putting it in a wreath, so I'm not going to do that, but, okay. Let's get this piece on. There. I might have it on. Oh, I have it on backwards. So I want to glue these down just to make sure they're going to stay. All right. There. Okay. One right here. One right up here. Oh my god, he's so stinking cute. Look at that. That is so cute. Okay. We can even decorate his hat a little bit. We could put another one of these up on this hat. We could put a little pink peppermint. All right, so we have like little pink peppermints. We could put that up there. We can put little pieces of greenery up there. There's just a ton of stuff you can do with the hat and the head. But I think he turned out super cute. So you'll have to tell me what you think and which of the arms you liked. I like these. All right, so watch out for the video where I put this in a wreath, because we're going to be putting this in a wreath and we're going to have a lot of fun doing that. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think, and let me know which of the arms you liked. And be watching out, because we're going to put him in a wreath, and I think that's going to be lots of fun. All right, y'all have a great one. Bye, y'all.